Hi, I'm Tom Lydon, editor of ETF Trends here in Chicago at the Morningstar ETF Conference. I'm here with Heather Fischer, who's in charge of the ETF platform at Schwab. Heather, great seeing you.
Great seeing you as well, Tom. Thanks for having me.
You folks continue to innovate your platform, everything ETFs that you're doing at Schwab, and recently you just did a new survey, so share some of the results.
Happy to, and as you probably know, we've been doing this survey for about 6 years now, and this is the first year that we've actually interviewed RIAs as well as individual investors. And I'd say one of the key findings out of that is that RIAs are really leading the charge in embracing ETFs. So for example, when we asked, have ETFs had a positive impact on how you invest? Overall, individual investors, 76% say yes, which is a great number, but 92% of RIAs say that, so really just leaning in. We also see that they have a higher level of investments in ETFs, 34% versus 22.5% for individual investors.
Okay.
And the intent to invest more is to get from 34% to 44% in 5 years for RIAs.
So that's what the indication is so far. So you ask them, this is what you have now, where do you think it'll be in the future? And it's going to grow as much as a third for the current allocation for RIAs?
That's exactly right. They are leaning in and they intend to continue leaning in.
Yeah.
And when we ask them what we call the $100,000 question, that's where it gets interesting. We ask both individual investors and RIAs, if you had an extra $100K to invest, how much of it would you put in ETFs relative to everything else? For RIAs, that number is $44K.
Wow.
I know. For individual investors, it's $37K, so not shabby, but again, we really see RIAs leading the charge with ETF investing.
So when investors and advisors have new money, it seems like number one, they're turning to ETFs.
They are definitely doubling down on ETF investing.
What about millennials? Did you get any information regarding millennials?
Yeah, I'd say millennials, and we found this last year as well, are really leaning into ETFs just as much as anyone else, in fact more. I'd say add an exclamation point to every result on the survey for millennials. So for example, when we ask folks, do you see ETFs as the primary investment vehicle of the future for your portfolio? Overall, investors say 28%. For millennials, more than double, 60%. So
Wow.
they are really ready to invest in ETFs.
Yeah.
And we're ready to help them do that.
Well, you do that, and Charles Schwab has more ETFs on their platform than any custodian in the world. So, and I know that that's a growing and a big part of your business, and you're continuing to innovate. You're continuing to add more no transaction fee ETFs on the platform as well.
Absolutely. That's long been a priority for us. We've long heard from individual investors and RIAs again that having a commission-free investment option is very important to them. A third of RIAs and nearly half of individual investors say that that's important. I think it's interesting that the survey this year really showed us that other aspects of costs are starting to be more important too. So we asked RIAs, what else do you look at in terms of cost? And nearly 80% are looking at total cost in general. Nearly 80% are looking at expense ratio. And we're starting to see individual investors look at those factors as well. So really, ETFs as a cost-effective way to meet investing goals is a trend that we see among both audiences and a trend that we expect to see grow.
DOL rule weighing in on this to some degree?
Certainly a possibility. I mean,
Yeah.
we see more and more need for transparency, more and more need for true cost-effective investing. And I think ETFs have established themselves as a really great way to do that. And I think there's greater and greater awareness. This is a great choice if you want to have transparent, value-based investing.
Great. Well, Heather, it's always great to see you. Thank you.
Likewise. Thanks so much, Tom.